Hi, welcome to Yoga with Lynn and Leo. This is day 16 of 19 days of yoga. Lynn in the white top is doing the classic poses. Leo in the coloured top is doing the modified versions using props. Have a look in the description below for what props you might need. Start out sitting back on your heels. Take the knees a little wider than hip width and then extend forwards in Adho Mukha Virasana, stretching into the hands. You can see that the buttocks rest back onto the heels and the head releases onto the floor. We're coming into the Parsva action now. So you're going to turn to your right. Take the right hand down by the outside of your right knee or shin and extend the left hand away from you, beyond the right hand side of your mat, so that you're really stretching and extending in the left flank. Come back to the center, rest the head down, keeping the buttocks back on the heels, the head quiet, the facial features quiet. Breathe, fine inhalation, exhalation through the nostrils. So we're going to turn now to the left. So extend the left hand down, bending at the elbow and taking it down by your outer knee, and stretch the right hand and arm so that you're getting length in that right side flank. You can see that Lynn is taking her head to the floor, Leo is not. Just make sure that you keep the back of the neck in line with the spine so that there's no stress or strain into the neck region. Breathe, fine inhalation, fine exhalation. This is quite a strong extension. So we're coming back into the center, into Adho Mukha Virasana. We're going to come up now into Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. So from hands and knees, come into your dog pose. We've done this on lots of the sequences, so you should be familiar with this action. Sitting bones towards the ceiling, fingers spreading, roots of the thighs really moving back to lengthen and extend in your spine. So we're going to step or jump the feet forwards for Uttanasana. You can see here that Lynn has taken the feet together and she's going to take the hands behind the calves here. So she's holding onto the wrist and using the extension to create length in the front of her body. For those of you who are less experienced, then take the arms, fold them as Leo is showing here, and extend the front of the body down. This may also be too much if your hamstrings are a little tight at this stage in your practice, so please go back to working with the hands onto bricks or onto the seat of the chair if this is too strong. Change the interlock of the arms if you're crossing the arms. Keep pressing down into the outer foot bones, lifting through the legs. So those working with folded arms, the feet are a little apart. Those working in this classic action, feet together. Keep the breath fine and even, and keep lengthening the frontal body down the fronts of the legs. Lift all four corners of the kneecaps. Open and extend in the backs of the legs. We're coming out of the poses now, so place the fingertips to the floor underneath your shoulders and come up into Tadasana. Stretch the fingers down, weight back into the heel bones. We're coming to the center of the mats for Trikonasana. Bring the hands together, step or jump the feet wide. You're going to lift onto the heel of the left foot, pivot the toes in 15 degrees, and turn the whole of the right leg and foot out. When we come into this action, be sure to extend the side flanks evenly, so don't drop into the right hand side. Take your right hand to wherever it will go to, on your leg or on your ankle, and stretch the left arm up. Extend the crown of the head so that you're lengthening through the spine. Come up, turn the feet to face forwards, and we're going to the other side. Right foot in slightly, left foot out completely. And then get this length and extension as you're coming into the pose. Keep the side flanks stretching evenly on both sides of the body. Keep the back leg strong and straight, and press firmly into the outer edge of that back foot. So you're keeping the inner thigh on that back leg really lifting to the bone. Use that back leg to lift you up out of the pose, come to the center, and then step or jump the feet back into Tadasana, mountain pose. Stretch down with the fingers, lift up with the chest, and breathe. We're coming now for Parighasana, gate pose. So you can see that Lynn and Leo are both folding the mat over a little at each end. Leo will be taking here a foam pad onto the right hand side of the mat to put the feet onto. So you're going to kneel up on the left hand side of your mat. If you're using a foam pad, then have that to the right side. Press down with your shins and then stretch the right leg out. So the heel of the right leg lines up with the inner crease of the left knee. You can stretch the ball of the foot and the toes down onto a foam pad if you need that little bit of height. You can see that Lynn is turning the arms at the root so that the palms face the ceiling, and she's going to come into the full action, stretching the top arm over the ear. For Leo, she's coming into this action with a Trikonasana action, the same as you did in the previous pose. It's a very strong stretch on the flank, even working in the modified version. Come up, bring the knees together, and then move to the other side of your mat. If you're using your foam pad, then take that, change that so that that's on the left hand side of the mat. Take your left leg out. Again, line that left heel up with the inner crease of the right leg. Stretch the arms out, rotate the arms if you're coming into the classic action, and take the arm over the ear. If you're working in the modified version, come into it in a Trikonasana action. Keep the top arm straight, don't let it bend at the elbow, and press the toes and the ball of the foot into the floor or into your support. Come back up and come into a kneeling position, sitting back on your heels. We're going to unfold the mat now and come into a Virasana action. This is a kneeling action, but you can see that Leo is using a foam pad here. You may need more height than this. If there's any difficulties in this pose, this kneeling action, then speak to an Iyengar teacher and ask for advice. So we're coming into Parsva Virasana. You take the hand behind you, the right hand behind you, the left hand comes to the outer right thigh. Lift through the chest and rotate from the base of the navel to the right. We're coming to the left side now. So again, we're taking the right hand to the outside of the left leg. The left hand comes behind you, either onto your brick or onto the floor. Get the lift through the spine before you start to rotate. Come back to the center, lifting through the chest. Come up now. We're coming into a straight-legged action now, Uttanasana, staff or stick pose. Extending the legs out after they've had that bent leg action, brings the blood flow back into the knee joints, the ankle joints, and the feet. This helps to make them more pliable, these bent leg, seated, kneeling actions. So extend into your inner heels. If you need height, then do take it. We're coming out of Tadasana now and getting the equipment ready for your Halasana and Sarvangasana, Plow Pose and shoulder stand. If you're using a chair, make sure that you've got one behind you. You do need a platform. The dimensions of the platform are underneath. We've made our platforms up with 4 foam pads, and you'll have seen this in earlier days in our 19 days of yoga. You have your shoulders on the support, the head on the floor. Press the hands into the floor and roll yourselves up into Halasana. Once you're in Halasana, move the shoulders so that they move under and place the hands into the back. The legs can come up 2 at a time if you're working in the classic versions, or just one leg after the other if you're working in the modified versions. Move the elbows towards one another. Move your hands out of your waist and towards your shoulders. So the elbows need to be shoulder width apart. For some people this is quite difficult if there's stiffness in the shoulders or a lot of muscle bulk around the upper body. Have a look at our tutorials and how to improve your Halasana sequences to get some tips on how to bring this pose into a better position if it's a difficult one for you. So keep on moving the hands up the back, pressing the back ribs in with the fingers, lifting the side ribs up with the thumbs. Move your sacrum forwards and your thigh bones back. Extend into the inner heels. Lift the metatarsals away from the face. Coming down out of the poses now, either one leg at a time as Leo is showing, or 2 legs if you're working in the classic version. Stay for a moment in Halasana and then bend the knees and carefully roll down. We're just going to rest down in this bent-legged action for a moment. So place your launch pad underneath your head. Keep the legs bent. The pelvis should be now on a lower support than the rest of the torso. Rest the arms down by the side, let the eyes close, and allow the body to become steady after your inverted actions. Again, if the inversions are tricky for you, speak to a local Iyengar yoga teacher and ask for advice on ways in which you can work more effectively in these poses. The inversions are very good for your general health, so they're well worth sticking at. Keep the abdomen soft, the throat soft, relax the facial features, and just let the body recover after having been upside down. Allow the breath to flow, fine inhalation, fine exhalation through the nostrils. Releasing the body. Alright, so we're going to come out of this pose now and into Supta Sukhasana. So this is a supine version of cross legs. You can take a bolster or your platform. If you're using a bolster, just flip the mat over the top of it so that the sticky mat is where your feet go. Cross the legs at the shins rather than at the ankles. Extend back and lie on your back with the palms of the hands facing the ceiling, the arms slightly away from the body. If this is a difficult action for you, this cross-legged action, because of problems in the knees or the hips, a little bit of stiffness maybe in the groins, then you can take a couple of cushions or rolled towels or blankets to place them underneath the thighs so that you can get the releasing action in the legs without any discomfort. You need to be comfortable in these end poses at the ends of the sequences so that the body can relax and release. Have the arms slightly away from the torso, fingertips curling in naturally towards the palms of the hands. Let the abdomen be soft and allow the abdominal contents to release towards the floor. Change the cross of the legs now. So keep the body quiet as you make any changes or adjustments in your pose. Keep the abdomen soft. Having changed the legs, you now need to readjust, make sure that everything is still releasing towards the floor. Relax your throat, release the back of the jaw, soften the facial features. Focus your attention on your breath. We're coming out of the poses now, so place the fingertips onto the diaphragm, bend your knees, carefully roll to the right, and bring yourselves into a seated position, sitting in cross legs. Thank you for joining us today for our 19 days of yoga. If you like our videos, please do subscribe and click the like button. Namaste.